Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of the AGT All-Stars finale, otherwise known as the AGT All finale, where bad things happen. The superfans once again stink up the joint. We have a lot of different questions as to what exactly going on here. I mean, here's the
Wow, tell me how you really
okay,
feel about this
here's the
finale.
thing. I'm
Woohoo!
not I'm not furious about the winner per se. Like, this is something we talked a
No.
little bit about in the last video that, ultimately Aiden Bryant winning, not a huge surprise based on what's happened around, but it's everything around this that makes this so stinky, so weird. I hope they never do this format again. All it does is make me mad every single time they do it. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I knew you were going to just set yourself on fire
Yes.
in this video, but wow,
What?
right in the first minute, here
Why?
we are. No,
Why?
there were some things that I was just like, what,
Yeah.
why? Absolutely. As things were being announced and we'd see, people up against each other where it's like, oh, it's either going to be, Tom or, Mikey and, all the, young, children acts that we're going through.
Yeah.
Like, clearly this audience really loves acts that are kid acts because there was a lot of them in this top 5. But we will get into all of that and into Aiden Bryant winning. I mean, like, he well deserves it, especially out of the 5 acts that were there. But we are talking about all the acts that were there and why the superfans made the choice they did.
Well, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy watching people get very mad about AGT and their stupid rule structure, because we will be back discussing all sorts of other great stuff. Also, very busy week. The Mandalorian's coming up.
Yep.
Survivor's coming up. We're
Yep.
covering Snowfall, The Last of Us. There's a lot going on here. Hopefully, none of that will make us as upset as we are right now. Okay.
And you know what won't make me upset? It is my birthday tomorrow, guys. And with it being my birthday tomorrow, the one thing that I want to ask of you guys as a small birthday gift to me is to go over to our Instagram, which is Matt and Jess TV, and just give it a follow. You can see some of the fun birthday pictures from this weekend. I had an ice cream cake made from scratch. I had pink candles. I had pink flames, talking about setting things on fire. It was really wonderful. But I would really appreciate that if you head over to the Instagram and just give it a follow. Thank you.
Here are the big questions I have. One, how did the pink flames work? How is that a thing? And number 2,
I don't know. You were there.
I was there. I still don't understand.
I don't either. It was so cool, though. I'd never seen anything like that.
I don't know what confuses me more, that or the super fans, because like both of them are like truly bad. Okay, here's the 2 things that are absolutely horrendous about the end of this season. Number 1, it is this continued structure of like, okay, we had a recap show and we had this finale. You could have just cut these 2 episodes, done a full semifinals. You could have brought back a bunch of more people. You could have had a more contentious road to get here. That sucked. And then also, we get to the top 5 here where, all right, here we go. Here
we go.
Aidan McCann, Aiden Bryant. You got the 2 Aidens. You have Anna Maria Marjan, apologies if I mispronounced your name. I'm trying. Light Balance Kids, Avery Dixon, all fine acts. All of them are reasonably good at what they do.
And they're all very young. Like I said, it's like everyone there is a kid, or Aiden Bryant is only 18. The only like adult is Avery, who's only 22. Like the superfans just sent through all the young acts.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't really make sense to me when, especially okay, Kodi Lee is right there. And Kodi is not only a former winner, but like a former winner with like an extraordinary voice. I don't believe it's real tinfoil hat time here.
Tinfoil hat.
I'm not trying to question the integrity of the grand machine that is AGT All-Stars. I mean, maybe these super fans really feel the way that they do. I just have a hard time fathoming in my head that Kodi Lee is not in the top 5. Even if you're not the biggest Kodi Lee fan out there, and I mean, we are Kodi Lee fans, but it's just sort of like, you're going to tell us that with his story and with his voice, he was not one of the 5 best acts of the show. Like, that's just nonsense. Like, I just don't believe it.
No, this show from the beginning with Terry Fader not going through like tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
It just feels like they didn't want a previous winner to win again.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. It can't be you're being judged on, oh, well, you know, Kodi's already won. So, you know, he doesn't need to win again.
Yeah.
We're just not going to put him through. Why? This is a competition. It's supposed to be about who is the best. And if you're the best to be able to win twice, that's okay. There's no problem with that. But the fact that Kodi wasn't even in the top 5 is wild to me. And there's just acts that I didn't understand how they weren't in the top 5 at all. I mean, Mikey.
Yeah.
How is Mikey Winfield not in the top 5? Even the show was pushing him to be like,
yes,
listen, a comedian's never won. And the audience is like, and they never will. Like, why? Why is it like this? Tom Ball?
Yeah.
He's not in the top 5?
Yeah.
It was really weird as I was seeing like people going. I mean, we even saw Simon at one point when he saw Mikey Winfield come up that he was like, oh no, he's not going through. Nah, it's over. I was like, oh wow, like Simon can even tell by the 2 people that are coming forward who's not going through.
It's just, okay, this is the biggest test I ask myself, you know, as though I am one of the super fans, of which apparently I am not based on how AGT judges this, but like, if you're a super fan, you need to have questionable judgment. But okay, so Mikey Winfield, I would go watch an hour-long show by him, no question. Like, I would pay money in order to do it.
Take my money.
Yeah, like, he's so ridiculously funny and talented, and it's just like, I look at the people who are in the top 5. I think Aidan McCann, very, you know, he's a charming young magician who has talent, who is fun. I would probably watch a 10 to 15 minute performance by him, but I'm not going to see an hour of him at this point in his life. He's still really raw. Like, he has a lot of room to grow. Like, I think Anna Maria is really fun, but it's like, I think Terry's better, and Terry was eliminated the first show.
Yes, this is what I don't understand. She's in the top 5, but Terry's eliminated in the first show. He is better. Like, there's no question about it. So how is this happening? And that's why, back to the tinfoil hat, we're all being driven around in a clown car because for whatever reason, I just don't know if it's like Terry didn't have time to do this entire show or if the audience is really like, nah, you've already won. You're not winning again. And it's just like, stop it. This is supposed to be who is the best. And Terry is one of the best. And so is Kodi Lee. And neither of them are in the top 5. Terry's gonna be eliminated in the first episode. Like, something is weird.
Even if we're just gonna like dig into like the really hardcore, like
no
AGT.
Power Duo in this top 5.
Here's what happened with Power Duo. Not that I agree. It's just sort of like Aiden Bryant comes in from the top rope and he just like market corrects them in terms of like what the audience is voting for. They were clearly only like, we're only voting for one aerial danger act, and it's gonna be Aiden, which I disagree with. But then it should
be, Power Duo.
Yeah.
Like I said, she just straight dropped out of the sky into his arms. That is wild.
Yeah. And even just like getting into like the finer like minutia of this, it's like, you guys have Avery Dixon over Light Balance Kids, where it's just like, I would watch way more of Light Balance Kids than I would Avery, and I'm a saxophonist. Like, I appreciate what he did. September, Earth, Wind, and Fire, that was a part of like one of my high school marching band shows. I'm very familiar and have affection for that. I appreciated the dance moves. But Avery is somebody who you put with the larger band. It's like you do a full show around like the entire group. I if you're gonna have this top 5, I think Light Balance Kids should have been ahead of him. It's just, in general, this format just doesn't work. It's not the point of America's Got Talent is having America actually vote for the acts, not a bunch of like people who are sitting in the audience who we don't know how they got there. They may have just put up something on social media on one of those like ticketing websites that's like, Are you a big AGT super fan? Then come and get tickets and reserve your spot and come and sit in the audience and determine who actually wins this show. And it's just like, that's garbage. I don't care if this is cheap, and I'm sure it's a lot cheaper than doing a live show, doing it this way, but it's just like, if this is the way you're going to do the show, just don't do the show. Like, we don't need it to end like this.
No, it's odd. The top 5 were odd to me, except for Aidan Bryant. I am not surprised that he was in the top 5, and it's not surprising out of the top 5 that he beat everybody. Like, his performance was incredible. He is self-taught. He is only 18 years old, and they gave him the final spot in the last performances, so he's fresh in everybody's mind. He's wowed everybody. Nobody's after him. I mean, it was set up for him to win.
Yeah, it really was. I'm not mad about that. I'm just mad about everything else. And if you guys ever do this again, the only way I'm really going to get super amped up, I say this as though I probably will still watch it if they don't do this. I'll be a hypocrite about it. I don't care. But it's just like, I really just think you got to have the audience vote, because, you know, you got to really like generate conversation and get people excited. At this point, everybody knows the game is up. Everybody knows if you bring it back like this, it's just going to be some weird questionable results again.
No. America has to vote.
Yeah.
It cannot just be the super fans, whoever they are. If it's the audience or a bunch of like friends of the producers, whoever it is, it has to be America's vote. And it just has to be, you know, who people really like. And I know that opens up a bunch of other problems, because we've talked about this in other videos. Some people have bigger audiences already out there, like Barry Wham. Like, their social media is like tens of millions of people. But, you know, you can still find a way. There's lots of people that aren't on social media that, you know, might see Mikey on the show and are like, I want to vote for him, and don't know what his social media is.
It's a more exciting format. It's a way for people to actually feel like you're involved. We have no involvement here. We only have sadness and disappointment.
All right. I'm not that disappointed about Aiden winning of those 5. He deserved it.
Okay, well, let us know in the comments. Are you like, yay? Are you like, about the end of this season? Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for hanging out with us all season. We'll see you here next time.